Here we are again, second in the day. This time against Artan, haven't played before. Let's see how it goes. And I'm the Reds again. Always seem to be the Reds first, eh? So I didn't get Duck and Cover as well as De Gaulle. So we're probably just dropping... We could play NASA to avoid Middle East scoring, I guess. And then we could get the coup off with NATO on Italy. That's attractive. So yes, Artan can have power veto whether or not it gets uploaded. 441, we're going to open NASA so we can coup Italy with NATO. If the coup fails, we'll drop Europe scoring early. But if we're lucky, we might be able to have a run at Europe, holding Europe scoring, as well as NASA potentially diffusing Middle East scoring. So we'll see. NASA, NATO, Marshall, Europe, De Gaulle, Fidel IR. Yep. So we'll get IR out before Romania. Okay, here we go. We'd love a 4-3-3, but we don't get it. So we'll open NASA. We'll still have a good old crack. So we've got De Gaulle for extra leverage. And I get purged again. Oh boy. Boy, oh boy, oh boy. We will change tack. And we will coup, counter coup, and drop Europe scoring for 0, hopefully. It's a good thing we did, because that coup was only a 3. Wouldn't have done the job. 3 and 3, 6 would have kept Italy at 2. So that's a bummer. And now, of course, NASA's a big juicy target. We'll hold Marshall Plan through the turn in a hope of getting you an intervention. If we see you an intervention before that, we'll space Marshall. It's our only space card this turn. The trouble we have is if they successfully coup Egypt, our best card to coup with is De Gaulle, which then is an invitation for them to play into Europe and get domination. Play into France and get Europe domination. So it's a little bit gross. Getting purged. Turn 1 kind of sucks. Here it comes. Let's hope for a low number. Oh. We will... Yeah, we're going to drop Europe scoring and invite another coup. And if they do, we can then event decoll. So, even with the coup on Egypt, we kind of get the best of it, with Iran cleared out. I think we got kind of lucky there. So we're going to look to try and event all 3 of these. So we'll decoll into Algeria, as well as Thailand. So Algeria, Nigeria, Angola, Thailand with decoll, in a bid to get him to slam into France so we can event De Gaulle, potentially AR6. So going for the big coup on Egypt again. 2 1s. Whew, snake eyes. That sets me up quite nicely. It says they play into France. We can use independent reds to plug Thailand. We still haven't seen you in intervention. Although, to be fair, what we want to do is get presence in Lebanon. So if they play into Malaysia, we may use de Gaulle to take Thailand and Lebanon. That is all the 4-op cards accounted for. So we just need to run down some 3-op cards before a successful blockade might happen. At least we're off to the races in Africa. It would be lovely to get D-Style as well. We may not swallow the bait in France, given that Europe's scoring's dropped, but we'll see. Must have been salivating getting 3 4-op cards, including Purge, turn 1. That's a gamble. Miss, miss, miss. Oh, boo. Alright, we're going to take South Korea with the China card. Not happy to do so, but with Korea more triggered, it's better than the alternative. Which means using de Gaulle to put 2 in Thailand potentially. If they don't play into Malaysia, oh, we can't take the chance. So we may go independent reds to Lebanon and de Gaulle, Thailand plus Thailand over protect. Oh, well that changes the Middle East complexion. Should have dropped into Lebanon sooner. That's my bad. Alright, since Europe's scoring has gone, we're now going to put excess pressure on Asia. Okay, so this hasn't been a bad turn for America in a way. Avoided Middle East 4VP for the UK. I don't know. Yeah, it's not been bad for either of us, but obviously it was somewhat bad for me. Getting purged. Clearing out Iran was lucky. It would be a delight to get Suez, with the way the Middle East is currently fixed. And Artan might make the folly of, with Middle East having scored, worrying less about it. Arab-Israeli war still to come out. Oh, dang it! So we are instead going to event Fidel, are we? No, we're not. We're going to give independent reds. Oh, I don't know. Yeah, we're going to give independent reds because of the China card risk. Well, my timing has been all over the shop this turn. I deserve to lose, given how turn 1 has gone. We do still have Warsaw Pact, which if it comes before Truman Doctrine, we can use to try and wrest control of Romania back. But a combination like Suez plus duck and cover, turn 1, oh there's Suez, crap. Could be worse. Now of course, failing to put one back in Israel or Libya leaves open the prospect of a coup to clear out of the Middle East. And they have fallen for that. So now we're hoping to get dealt duck and cover, which we don't get. So, containment, VR, C5, Asia, IPW, and SR. Given the risk of defectors, we can't do Asia scoring. We are holding Asia scoring. So the best is Fidel. If it does get defected, it may come back in the wash. Instead, they go off to space. So Fidel happens. The problem is, if we use Marshall Plan, they can get back into the Middle East through Turkey. So that's just not a goer. So we have to hope for the coup on Egypt. It's bigger than a 3. It is not. Everything is coming up roses. So we're going to try and get Asia scoring in before it dominates. I mean, he'd need to use the China card. Yeah, have to use the China card in order to deny domination, which isn't so bad for me with Burma and Vietnam where it is. So I'm likely to win the race for Asia domination at least. So we didn't see D-Style, didn't see Duck and Cover. 5-year plan Duck and Cover is still and CIA. Yeah, so I could still get I could still get Defcon Suicide in turn 3 if the cards fall that way. Given that Asia is not savable, the options are hammering North Korea with the China card, or just playing into Egypt and Libya. Start racking that up. So what we're really looking for is seeing one of the three pieces of the puzzle dropping in turn 2. If we see CIA, 5-year plan, or duck and cover go turn 2, we can breathe relatively easy for the moment. Okay, pump North Korea. Oh no, going for the battleground. Oh, went 2-3 instead. Okay, well that's great for me. That was not optimal use of the China card. Malaysia, Indonesia, Philippines would have at least denied domination, or just hammering North Korea accepts domination but at least sets up a threat. Here you're waiting to event foremost a resolution, which is unlikely to come off. I don't know. I don't particularly like that. I don't think. And resigning yourself to Asia being dominated, working this area here, working up to domination here. And obviously with the China card back now, I can't lose to the duck and cover CIA 5-year plan combo. Egypt and Libya? Back into Israel's not bad. So we will get into Lebanon first. And we'll just work up Iraq and Saudi, then Iran. We're looking for De Gaulle again. Socialist governments haven't been yet. So we'll hold Marshall through turn 3 and hope to get UNI before the reshuffle. Chance to be a fine thing. The board shape could be worse. Certainly. While still not being great. Okay, so UN interventions come out. That means Marshall Plan becomes a likely space. SortGov does not come to my rescue. So we will split influence in both of these places. And if they play into one or the other, we then take Iran. We still use containment AR 6. And we hold Marshall Plan. Probably to space next term. So more blue than red cards start to come out. Duck and cover 5-year CIA Truman defectors still hasn't come to my Arab Israeli Warsaw D-style blockade. Won't be holding D-style. Well, might be because it's got the China card actually. D-style might still be in their hand and be held through turn 3. But I'd say using UN intervention suggests it's unlikely when double spacing was a decent shout. Okay. Already developing into Middle Region. I would have pressed into Iraq as a bigger threat. Because now we can take Iraq and Saudi. Finish the turn pressing into Iran. We'll put 2 in Iran and we'll put 1 in Afghanistan. Oh, nice. Okay, well, Warsaw Pact can still come to the rescue. We're going to put 1 in Afghanistan as well, because if they do CIA coup Iran and get a 6, life would be bad. Okay, so eventing Truman there looks like it's a sweet VP, but with Warsaw Pact still to come out, I can turn that around. And I would punt them out of Romania to stop the adjacency to Turkey, so should be considering taking an act in an op into Turkey as soon as possible. Otherwise, Romania is actually quite vulnerable. There's Formosa. Libya plus Costa Rica for adjacency. Still dominate the Middle East, which is nice. Didn't get defectors, most importantly, didn't get CIA. Asia scoring looks good. So I got duck and cover, got Arab-Israeli war, got 5-year plan, got NORAD. So they got defectors, CIA, Olympic, Warsaw, D-Style and blockade. That's a bummer. Can't be helped. I did at least get Asia scoring, so I can keep pressure up there. W. And my 8th card is... Olympic Games was mine, not theirs. Yes. So Warsaw defectors, D-Style blockade, CIA. Knowing that they hold defectors, I've got Arab-Israeli war. So I tell you what, I'm going to event. Am I going to event duck and cover? Yeah, I've got so few clean 3-op cards. And see if we can get it defected. Yes! Very nice. So we will pile on the pressure in the Middle East. Away? No, God no, because DEFCON's at 3. Yeah, Dodoy. Alright, so we will use Eastern European unrest to coup Egypt. No, we're unlikely to get Arab-Israeli war to go off. Libya. Boom! The dice rolls are doing a little better than the purging. So, we need to stay ahead in Asia. For Europe's pretty much a write-off now. I think we'll hold 5-year plan, knowing that CIA is not coming back till late war. Blockade will chuck D-Style, which is a bummer for us, but it is what it is. So we are hoping to get junta. We're hoping to get OPEC and potentially salt it, and to avoid Europe scoring. If we do all those things, we may be able to get this game wrapped up quickly. I'll be punting NORAD off to space. So Marshall Plan's a bit gross, really. But I can either put 2 in Greece and 2 in Turkey. Oh no, I can... yeah, ugh. I can't space NORAD and Marshall Plan, that's the problem. Hey, at least I can get Purge turn 3 this time. And if Europe doesn't drop and Middle East does, might be able to win this turn. That's unlikely. The right move for USA here is presumably to start fighting for domination, to avoid domination in Asia. Middle East is something of a lost cause unless they spend 3 ops flipping Libya. Lebanon. But then I can just take Syria. I may end up inventing Marshall Plan to do stuff elsewhere on the board. Unpalatable though that is. They got ops to spare. Okay, focuses on the mid-war regions. Does deny domination. So we'll just overclock it there. So yes, we're specifically hoping for Asia plus Middle East scoring to finish the game at the end of turn 3. That'd be a delight. Not going to happen, but I might as well whistle for the wind. So the only way likely to come back into Italy is brush war. At least NATO's not currently in. If we see US-Japan go for ops elsewhere, of course there's enough action rounds to try and get control of Asia, insane though that might be. It would mean inventing NORAD and Marshall Plan. Now we're going to find out they don't hold Middle East scoring anyway. So we are going to overcover Angola and make it 2-2 on the rear lines. They've got Warsaw, D-Style, Blockade, CIA, and one other card, which is not a scoring card. So we are going to punt Romania. Rather than overprotect. Just to deny that access to Turkey. We'll drop Asia scoring for Dom. So NATO's now eventable. I may not event Marshal after all. I might space Marshal and event NORAD, but put an extra one in South Korea. Because at the moment, South Korea is the only place where my opponent's competing with NORAD ops. And then we'll just hope to snag Quagmire. SocGov was the reshuffle card, went off to space. Still got blockade to D-style. Fails, that's good for me. So yes, we'll space Marshal. And we get away, which gets us up to 17, assuming they don't have Indo-Pakistani war. So now we're looking for an OPEC, a Middle East scoring, and avoiding a Europe scoring. Or something ridiculous like decolonization to break Southeast Asia. AR1. It's nice to have all these possibilities, and obviously Defectors isn't going to come out. Still won't be headlining anything like that, because obviously VOA is a problem. So blockade to D-style is going to be the last action round. Costa Rica, fine, looking for domination. We will event NORAD, overprotect South Korea, overprotect Thailand. And overprotect Poland in advance of John Paul. And we're hoping to 5-year away Europe scoring. So we're going to go in at 17. So got dealt Marshall Plan turn 1 and spaced it end of turn 3. Ridiculous. Okay. So yeah, dodge a scoring card. OPEC or Middle East scoring to go over the top. Would suit me down to the ground. Okay, racing for NORAD. Should have taken Costa Rica for domination, I think. So did get Southeast Asia scoring. That's only 1 point. So I'm not going to get there. Don't have decol salt. Could salt D-style. Or could use Lone Gunman to see what they're holding, which might be more fruitful. Let's event Lone Gunman because we still have time to salt D-style. Okay, so they're going to get a coup off. But if they do get a coup off, they have to give up ops for me this turn. I suspect they'll want the coup. Especially as Africa flips. Tough decision. So, let's see. Brezhnev was in my hand. Grain sales is gone. Salt an alliance. C. Kitchen and Sadat. Nixon. Could send Brezhnev off to space. So we are hoping to see no scoring cards. If we can get that. Okay. Failed on the coup. Returned Brezhnev as well. So, Brush War's a goer. Let's plug this in case it matters. So, Shuttle Dip, Indo-Pakistani War and Che. Nuclear Subs, Brush War. Summit, Cult Rev. And Nuclear Subs. Oh, Flower Power, that's the other one. So we'll pretend to threaten, and then seeing Cultural Revolution, we'll pretend to overprotect Thailand against Brush War. Little do they know, that's enough to end the game. So we're hoping to trick them into cooing Zimbabwe or eventing nuclear subs. If they succeed in Brush War to reduce Milops to 16, to points to 16, we'll then play into Burma. But we're trying to get the game ended right there. And I'm hoping they'll think, oh, they're just flipping Malaysia to protect Brush War. I would be happy for that ruse to be believed. So, for example, a Brush War on Nigeria would be fine by me. And if this all goes pear-shaped, there is still time to salt D-style. So yeah, eventing Brush War or breaking Malaysia are the only two plays that will avoid the game ending. Oh, and I suppose a 50-50 Indo-Pakistani war would also do. So 50% of the time the game ends right there. So yeah, this could be lights out. Oh no, he's going for it. Sensible. We need a miss. It misses. Oh. Alright, so we're going to swap over. That doesn't move the needle too much for either party. So we'll end this one, and I am USA +2. So let's get this right. We are creating. It is not random sides. I am USS... Oh no, I'm not USSR, I'm USA, that's fine. And Artan will join me as USSR. So USA +2, optionals 90, Artan, create. Here we go. Let's just reset my tracker. And away we go. Well, Decol and D-Style as USA. Oof, holy smoke. Let's hope I don't get blockaded. Right, get blockaded, I space Decol, obviously. Not getting purged will be key. Okay, D-Style and Decol and 5-year plan. Comic-Con. Special. EU. Captured Nazi. NASA. So, Captured Nazi Scientist is our headline. We open 442. We coup, counter coup with these 3-op cards. We are forced to event NASA if we don't space Decol. Yeah, no, we're forced to event NASA. Those are our 7 and we hold D-Style. If we're lucky, we get contained and we can space NASA as well. If we get a successful space of Decol. Getting purged is a disaster. So let's hope they're not holding purge and defectors. So, I expect a 4-4-1 opening, Austria or Yugoslavia, or 4-5 if they're holding Truman. Four, 4-1. Yep. We go 4-4-2. We headline Captured Nazi. And let's see what the opponent throws at us. So what do I expect to see? Purge, Vietnam revolts. Probably one of those two. Cambridge 5, which would be great. I'm leaving dead air because I know most of you will just keep skipping 5 seconds rather than paying attention to the whole damn thing. Hey, correct me if I'm wrong. I never see someone saying in the comments, I listened to every word you said, because that would be weird. Here we come. Fidel. Potentially setting themselves up for DEFCON suicide. I expect a coup on Iran or Italy first, depending on ops. Given I hold 0 4-op cards, I expect to see some 4-op cards get dropped here. I can only hope that they're holding Marshall and US Japan, and not the neutrals. Lots of thinking. Oh, using the China card, that's never a good sign. Good result, though. Okay, so we counter-coup with Eastern European unrest. 5 or 6? No, that's a 1. Okay, so there goes your ball game in the Middle East. We will now play into Malaysia and seek to overcome some deficit. Lebanon when DEFCON's 2. Oof. Youch. So we'll press into Egypt and at least try and do something there. Surprised Vietnam Revolts wasn't the headline. Was obviously worried about defectors and went for Fidel instead. But I'm now in a bad way in Asia. But obviously if they coup Egypt now, we get to move into Thailand, which suits me down to the ground. So yeah, I expect to see a walk into Thailand here. And then we will level up the country count and pop 2 in Libya. And we'll just keep tapping on Asia in a bid to try and keep domination down. Keep a lid on it. It's unlikely to happen for very long. The other option is to plough into France. But that just kind of sets a target for Suez and de Gaulle. Well, yeah, at some point you have to do it. Would have expected to see a coup in Italy if they were holding Europe scoring, though. Yeah, so Thailand. Got greedy, because I've got the China card. So we'll move to Libya. and give up on Asia. And we'll hope that they forget about overprotecting Thailand because we have quote-unquote given up on Asia. If this coup on Libya fails, then we can play into Lebanon. Pop another one in Egypt so at least Nasser doesn't trigger for control of Egypt. There it is. Let's coup Egypt with... Oh no, duh. Let's event Nasser and coup it. This is an unpalatable gamble, but let's hope for big money. Ha, another fail. Fine. Possibly foolhardy. But we'll space decal and press into France. So the only way to get back in Asia is to flip Thailand with the China card, win the Korean War or space it, and hope US-Japan comes to rescue, and then we've still got the possibility of 4-3ing with Taiwan. Eventing NASA was not spectacular. The other option would have been pop another one in Egypt with 5-year plan, one in Lebanon, which could easily have been couped at DEFCON 3, and then event NASA to make it 2-2. But I feel like that's just a loss of tempo. Although, of course, I'm basically inviting Middle East domination now, so what the hell do I know? Another option, if I'm successful in space, is space decol and space D-style, hold 5-year plan. And then if I get duck and cover, I could try duck and cover 5-year plan, hope they've got CIA. They'll have a 50-50 chance of having it next turn. Now they're going for Korean War. That's a gamble. It failed. That's unfortunate for them. Always a bad idea. No sense in taking the 50-50. And now, of course, to finish the turn, they should move into Syria for domination. And I space decol. Wasn't going to miss the opportunity to seize South Korea there. So the whole CIA duck and cover 5-year plan thing can wait to turn 3 if I'm lucky in the reshuffle. So either Syria or tapping West Germany are both viable options. Blockade's the worst for them because, well, it's good and bad because they want to see D-Style go. And I, of course, can hold D-Style through turn 3 if I don't get blockaded next turn because I now hold the China card. But yeah, venting Korean War there is not great because when you fill the 50-50, you're basically handing it to the States. And Formosa's now in play, which may affect my use of the China card or not. Sensible overprotecting. Moved into Burma as well, fine. So we space decol, we've got no other option. It gets off. Let's see, Middle East scoring, now's the time to drop that. And then we can also, holding de Gaulle means we can, yeah, drop Middle East scoring for 1. The other option is duck and cover. Yeah, duck and cover's better. I get 3 VP. They don't get Milops. And even if I give up domination. So yeah, let's go duck and cover. De Gaulle, Marshall, NATO. Europe sort of drops for 0. That's a bummer for me. We've got the 4-op cards to go Event de Gaulle. Make it 3-1, an ops war. So I expect T1 in Syria here. That'd be the sensible play. Actually, no, I'm going to be risk averse and space de Gaulle. I don't gain anything by doing that, and I give adjacency to Algeria. We'll be holding D-Style through the turn anyway, or if we get blockaded, we can play the rest of the cards. So. We'll probably still event Marshall plan to get access around Greece and Portugal, because NATO's not likely to trigger. But best play by far here is into Syria. Arab-Israeli war hasn't gone, so... If they just take Syria and other options, 3 into Israel, 1 into Jordan, level up country count, and pressure Saudi Arabia to try and make it 3-3 and no dom. But if they do anything other than move into Syria now, or Jordan, I drop Middle East scoring for no domination. Absolutely. Lots of cogitating. Well, good thing I didn't fart around with 5-year plan in the end, because I got dealt CIA. So it looks like Asia's likely to be out of reach for most of the game. But the major difference is that I got decol and D-Star as USA. And last game, again, I got decol and D-Star, but as USSR, right? So, well, decol, they got D-Star. But in the end, South America didn't come into play. Sensible. Yeah. So, we'll drop Middle East scoring. So we ended up 1 VP up on the deal. But we will get to France first. Jordan was the better play than Syria. Well done them. And we'll at least get a crack at the 2 VP space square. Okay. Truman Doctrine? Let's put the... Oh no, because 1-op in there does the same thing. Dumbass. No, we'll just go 3 into France, and... I'm feeling uninspired. 1 into Greece for access to Turkey, and the eventual Portugal cover Italy against brush war. If they're worried about levelling up country count in Europe, moving into Turkey is a must this AR. Well, that's good for me. Did the right thing, but doesn't get mill-ops now as a result, so that's fine. And we're still in decent shape too. Alright, so the race in Europe will be neck and neck for a while. Thanks to me having to play Romanian abdication. There that comes. Understandable. Yep. Nope. We'll cover Portugal. So now only Arab-Israeli war is going to confer Milops. So now we're gonna edge ahead in Europe, but we're a coup and an Arab-Israeli war away from close to Middle East control. So no time to breathe. Sensible, with an unfortunate result. We'll give Romanian abdication and claim Canada. There it is. Well, we can give up De Gaulle, but De Gaulle will come back. Alright, we're going to give up D-Style. Are we? D-Style's so good. Right, if we give up De Gaulle, we can then use the China card to pump North Korea, which levels up the country count for Asia scoring. We just have to hope De Gaulle doesn't come back in the reshuffle. And thankfully, Asia scoring does. So, De Gaulle is in the discard. Romania's triggered. Blockade was triggered. And in the reshuffle I got, so they know I can't be defected. They did get socialist governments. Ugh, that sucks. NORAD, Suez, Warsaw, Cambridge 5. So they've got defectors and containment. Didn't we see nuclear test ban go in turn 1? Was I not paying attention? Apparently not. No, okay, so they have got nuclear test ban. So, oh man, socialist governments and a boatload of 4-op cards. That's not nice. Nuclear Olympic UN, which they can use on containment or defectors. Asia and Middle East scoring. So I drop Asia scoring. Socialist government is bad. De Gaulle is worse. So we're going to have to event and repair all of these and give up Middle East scoring to space. Oh no, we could space if we get successful in. Even if we fail, we can space both of those. It means we have to trigger Arab-Israeli war, which is kind of gross. Well, I got lucky breaking Asia at the end there. I was torn between that and defending Europe against de Gaulle, but I don't know. Well, you know, could all come unravelled here. Event de Gaulle, nuclear test ban to flip France. But I expect to see a nuclear test ban coup on Libya, in which case I finish taking North Korea. Oh, well, I called it. So now nuclear test ban takes France. And I'm down 7-6. So I then have to start racing country count in Europe. So I've gone from domination to devastation. Well, that's just dreamy. I can only hope they get greedy and go for a coup first. Might be thinking, oh, I hold socialist governments, and they hold Suez. So maybe I can cause them more difficulty. Well, I'm going to be lucky to come out of the early war less than about -8. Well, blast. Okay. I have to use the China card to take North Korea again. If they use the China card to take North Korea here, I will use Warsaw Pact coup on Egypt and hope to level up Middle East. If they dominate Europe, I might use Arab-Israeli war to take Denmark. But either way, I'm in bad shape. Man, that was the all-time worst possible headline. Gross. Okay. Yeah, if they use the China card in North Korea, I definitely coup Egypt. If they push ahead in Europe, I think I still take the coup and try and deal with the scoring card I have rather than the scoring card I fear. Okay, yeah, I mean that's best of both worlds. Great, because that scoring card's dropped. Again, I think that's good for me for tempo. So I am going to coup with Warsaw Pact, even though I know that sets up opportunities. And I get the result I need, which is good. So, Middle East scoring. Arab-Israeli war to take Denmark. Cambridge 5 once Middle East scoring has dropped. Although now I want a space Arab-Israeli war to deny them mill-ops and hold D-style. 3, 4, 5, 6. Oh well. Blockading away de Gaulle cost me Europe in exchange for breaking Asia, and only temporarily. I don't know. Was that stupid, or was it not? At the time it seemed like genius, but what the hell do I know? Clearly not a genius. So I expect to see 2 in Yugoslavia, 2 in Bulgaria, 1 in Czechoslovakia. And then a hasty conversion. Oh, I've lost my internet connection. Apologies. Let that reload. Back in. The blip. I'm aware. Tell me more. You cannot. There's always a good old-fashioned Salt ABM to realign France, if I get lucky. Which is a rationale to move to Algeria. And maybe give up on Europe for the time being, especially after this pumps a load of influence in. So I've taken 7 minutes and 15 seconds, and Artan has taken 32 minutes. That's fine. There's a lot to consider. And you want to make sure you tune your engine up as the Middle East. So, if I'm lucky, I'll go into the mid-war at -1 or +1 if Europe's scoring doesn't drop. But in an underdeveloped state. But weather the storm. Plenty to chew over. Here we go. Load, 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 load. 1 in Czechoslovakia. Okay, 1 in Poland for cover. And then gets to town. Oh, yep, clears me out of France. Fine. Alright, we're gonna eat... Is there any way to get domination? There's not. We're gonna hope that the 5th card in their hand is not Europe scoring. That's all we can do, because Cambridge 5 can't come first. So... Cambridge 5 to Algeria. And still work with the hope that we can get a ABM, Salt ABM realign on France. All being well. So they've got defectors, Olympic Games, containment, and UNI. Okay, Algeria was the better choice, really. But I'll have it. Oh, I can't get access to Algeria anymore. So I'll space Arab Israeli. It doesn't get there. Next I'll space Suez. And I'll save Cambridge 5 for an AR6. In inverted commas, crisis. Although there isn't much going on in the way of crises. Nice to get a VP. Algeria, very wise. Come on, Suez, get there. Nothing gets there. So containment, unit intervention, and one other card. We'll go Panama plus Costa Rica. The other option is Costa Rica and Colombia. But I don't know, I've never had success going into Colombia, frankly. I've never seen Europe so red. My God. Well, here's to hoping that John Paul and Reagan's tear down this wall do the job. Because Europe is in a bad way. Nine. I am never clawing that back. So going to go in at 0, but dominated in Asia, dominated in Europe, unscored, in a bad way in Southeast Asia. Underdeveloped in the rest of the world. Not good. Not good at all. At least get 3 ops to finish off the turn. They're holding UN intervention against. Let's put 1 in Thailand, threaten flipping it with the China card. And 1 in Costa Rica. Mid-war. Oh, goody, Europe scoring. How awesome. Your series nice. Yasuri is a decent shout with Pakistan and India. And the China card still to go. I can't make enough trouble in Europe, so I might as well headline Yasuri and threaten Pakistan and Asia. Oh boy. So if they play NATO, I've got to play into the UK, event special relationship to try and flip Turkey to make it go undominating. I just don't see that coming off. So I think I'll be dropping Europe scoring at some point this term. Spacing D-Style as late as possible to avoid assault. Rest ops. Suppose I can event Eastern European unrest late in the turn in the hopes of denying domination in Europe. Oof. At least I get to see what's going on. So, UNI. 5-year plan and bear trap. Che, you two, we will bury you. We will bury you's better than CIA. Although I can see why they want to get rid of it. Especially UNI in their hand. They could just do an intervention it away. But we'll take the coup in the Milops. Hope for big money. We don't get it. May want to use an intervention bear trap. But if they do something stupid and trap themselves, I will use that as an opportunity to try and ditch Europe for cheap. They are very ops rich. A 4, a 3 and a 3 on theirs, a 3 neutral. A menu and intervention, a bunch of 3s on me. Youch. I'm not going to get there with arms race. Okay. We'll splash it around a bit, knowing there's no liberation theology. Yeah, I would have headline we will bury you for the VP. UN interventioned CIA. And then spaced bear trap. I suppose you have to event puppet governments. Maybe it's not so bad. Maybe I can't see the path. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, so domination is still achievable in Asia. Not that, you know, Asia's going to come out anytime soon. And both India and Pakistan are a Indo-Pakistani war away from flipping. But I am going to play into Malaysia. I'm going to play into Malaysia and Indonesia just to it's also worth it because that brings it down to 2 VP in Southeast Asia instead of 4. So now it's played. The best line is space, puppet governments, you an intervention, bear trap, and then play out all your other cards for ops. So space, that still gives them 4, 7, 10, 13, 16 ops this turn. Yeah, you're just setting up for OPEC, but that's going to take a while to come through. Yeah, so I'll space D style, try and get to the 2 VP square. I might pop a couple in Israel and go for the Camp David as well. So my end of turn gambit might be AR6, especially if they haven't spaced puppet governments. AR6 Eastern European unrest and hope they don't repair it enough to drop Europe scoring. It's currently 7-9 to me, so if I can get it down to 6-7 in my favour, they then need to spend the 2 puppet government ops to get back on top. But then I get the advantage of puppet governments. Gonna push for Israel? No, bold. So we will pop 2 in Israel and 1 in Angola. They don't have South African unrest, so we have time to set up this end of Africa. Four ops into a non-battleground is a bit... I don't know. It's undesirable, certainly. Just a friendly clock reminder. That's halfway through, less than halfway through the game. USSR's got a lot of big decisions early in the game, but you certainly don't want to throw away your turn 10 with clock pressure. So you and I bear trap? Yep. Goes Nigeria plus Tunisia, fine. So we will level up with Camp David, and then use Sadat to take South Africa. So Space Puppet Governments, and then you've got Che and 5-year plan for Ops. Which means I am not going to be able to stop. Okay, fair enough. So we use Sadat to overprotect Zaire. We're probably just going to go Eastern European unrest, Angola plus these two to protect against everything else. Yeah, space that, sensible. And then you're left with 5-year plan. So I cannot. We'll get off to space as well. I cannot stop Europe from scoring domination. 7 versus 3, 6, 9. So 7, 6. 2 ops to go back to 7, 8. Bummer. So we'll get our AR7. Well, it's still looking ropey as hell. Where's this going? Yeah. Fair dues. So we will take South Africa, overprotect Angola, and we will... because they're going to be wanting to coup in Africa. We're going to try this gambit and see how badly it goes. I saw Cultural Revolution before clicking away. Okay, good. I got Voice of America, which is nice. And Brushall, which is always good. So I got both of the Africas, but no airdropping DEFCON. Nuclear subs is attractive for lots of counter-couing in Africa. With CIA gone, nuclear subs is probably best. Because I think a coup in Angola will come first. So with the Suri gone, China card, then Cultural Revolution, remember to overprotect Pakistan is fine. Yeah, nuke subs. And we've got coup cards. Ah, quogged. Youch. Well, start with Portuguese Empire crumbles, then South African unrest, then D-style if it comes to that. Ooh, now I'm going to get coup out of Angola and possibly realigned out of Zaire. Nasty. So potentially coup on Colombia to then play into Venezuela to try and get presenceless domination in South America. Either that or coup in Angola, drop Africa scoring for domination. Worst case scenario, coup Colombia, I fail, play into Venezuela, I succeed, they get presenceless domination. So I would very much like to get out in one. Gotta watch that clock. Either that or plan to win with war games, eh? The one thing I have learned from Soul's 90-minute series is that a 1 hour clock is about the sweet spot for my sanity. Not to denigrate those who like to spend more time thinking about it. Zaire? Oh, no, going Colombia first, and that's a brilliant result for me. That is a fantastic result for me. Great. So next comes the coup in Africa, but I can immediately counter coup. I've got Panama Canal returned to creek my way in. Of course, if they've got junta, I look like a FUD. Might well be holding OPEC or D-style because of the play out. Okay, going big. Ah, that's huge. So we will start by Youch. We'll give up 3 VP to move into Mexico. And also start to threaten dominating Africa. Not happy about that. But we'll brush war on Panama in a moment. Sudan helps against Muslim revolution as well, obviously. Because I can at least reclaim one of Egypt or Libya. Poop! Doing great. I just need to miss Panama. Oh, well, there you go. Small mercies. So now maybe I'm not playing the China card. And I'm spacing... Oh no, wait, because now I can't space 2. Bleh. Oh, this is not going well at all. Whoa, where did Southeast Asia scoring go? It went into my hand, which it shouldn't have. Yeah. No, we are going to use the China card. And Cultural Revolution. And Voice of America. Removing access is always better. But that's as good as I can do. Yeah, stuff it. So we use the China card to go Venezuela, Brazil, Pakistan, Cultural Revolution. Stuff these guys for now. Now that I've lost the VP square. Oh boy, I'm getting mullered on the VPs. I also need to take Costa Rica for domination. Maybe overprotect Mexico. So China card 1, 2, 3, 4. Cultural Revolution 1, 2. Maybe 3 towards Uruguay if I'm feeling sassy. Or 1 in Zimbabwe to try and deny domination in Africa if the coup goes off there. Two into Uruguay does get me presence as domination in South America, which is another possibility. But yeah, need to remember Pakistan. Okay, great. Get to see some cards come out. Let's hope Lone Gunman's one of them. Okay, we'll ditch Africa scoring because we're not expecting that to go our way. We ditch Junta because it's a 50-50 card. We might as well ditch Latin American Death Squads. Okay, so now Junta's gone, we will go to Uruguay, 1 Pakistan to finish. Because then they have the unpalatable choice of cooing a battleground or cooing a non-battleground. Grain does, of course, go off to space. And they do, of course, get to peak. So now ABM Treaty is the only thing that can mess with me in South America, I think. which of course I don't have. Oh yes, Shuttle, Muslim Rev, Lone Gunman, Nixon to steal the China card back, Central and South. So, ABM is the only card. So yeah, South America scoring. And the upshot is you need to ABM Uruguay to get maximum leverage. And then we're going to have to pray that the Mexico coup misses. And let's hope we get arse knotted. Because we have a lot of cards we don't like this term. Okay, that's not great. But at least South America goes off and gives me 7 VPs worth of pressure relief. And they may get greedy and press into Libya and Egypt before me. One hopes that is the case. So I can then snag Central America. I guess we're reaching the point where de-Stalinization doesn't achieve a ton. But yeah, having Lone Gunman sucks. I'm really hoping I get arse knotted. That would be swell. And I'm hoping the cool Mexico whiffs. Yep. Here it comes. NATO's in play at least. Miss, please. Hush. We have to play him because of liberation theology. Which does mean ceding Libya. But such is life. Will you shuttle diplomacy to at least take Israel and make sure it can't be warred? So with NATO in play, flipping Turkey is a possibility. But a remote one. We're still waiting on John Paul and tear down this wall, really. That rhymed. Please to miss. Well. No. We still move into Egypt first. Well, the rolls have all gone. I mean, no, that's not true. The last go in Central America didn't go well in inverted commas. 1 in 3's having 1 in 3 at a time. US Japan still hasn't come out since the reshuffle. Fine. We drop Central America scoring. So I may space South Africa and rest an event D style once I've finished taking all of South America. Reshuffle definitely next turn. So US Japan still has time to come back. But I may well have to just bite the bullet and claim it. Doesn't trigger? Does. Oh, bonus. Can't count for toffee. We are going to take the China card. Because we're still hoping that we're about to get handed an arse knot, and we can ditch all 3 of these. But failing that, we'll use D-Style to take Chile. Yeah, standard overprotect. But we'll start by spacing. Come on. You were doing so well, NASA. What happened? So, Arsenal, Duck and Cover, Colonial Rearguards, ABM Summit, Purge Salt, Flower Power, Brezhnev, Libthi, and Decol still to come out. 2 of those are in their hand, which means I've lost track of 1 of them. Not Libthi or Decol. Flower Power or Brezhnev? Nope. ABM Summit, Purge Salt. Purge is gone. Okay. Good. Oh, managed to keep track of the cards just about. I bloody love an arse knot right now, sunshine. Come on. Be good. Well, if you sorted something right now, it'd be nice, because I could at least event Lone Gunman and ditch it from my hand. So venting Salt or Arse Knot are my 2 preferred gambits here. And I get neither of them. Fine, fine, fine. We will use D-Style to take Chile. and hold Lone Gunman. So we'll work out what that one card is in a moment. My guess is it's Ask Not or Colonial Rearguards. Seems likeliest. So I would expect here 2 into Japan potentially, as well as maybe Guatemala. Peru for adjacency. -5 going into turn 7. So it becomes about how the scoring cards fall as to whether or not War Games kicks in. At least I've got the China card, pressure outlet for holding Lone Gunman. And if I get Asked Not, obviously I can barrel away a bunch of stuff, including LG. And then Defcon ceases to be a concern and War Games is the only one. That one small step leap did a lot of damage. Indo-Pakistani War has done significantly more. Indo-Pakistani War was worth 4 VP in and of itself and another 10 VP swing, I guess. So that card is the power broker in Asia. So yeah, 2 in Japan plus 1 in Peru and 1 in Guatemala, for example. Maybe 1 in Zimbabwe. So this video is now at 2 hours and counting. The first game was over somewhat quicker, but I ain't complaining. Right. Yeah, if South America drops, then the game is on. Especially with Tear Down This Wall still to come. It might just come down to who gets dealt ABM treaty next turn. Because that's another potential swing. Here we go. Okay, Taiwan, fine. Peru, sensible. That one's... Okay, good. I got ABM, which is good. I could purge as well, which would also be nice. And if they miss envy me, they get flower power. So I got duck and cover, and ABM, and flower power. And summit. They got Salt, Libthy, and Decol. Ask Not and Colonial Rearguards. Now at the reshuffle I got Purge, Shuttle, Portuguese, Camp, so Shuttle Diplomacy levels up Asia, which makes it attractive as long as Middle East doesn't drop first. Duck and Cover is not playable because of We Will Bury You. And then I keep my ops for Purge. So let's headline Shuttle Dip. And I expect to see here Decol or Libthy. But if they Libthy and then coup, we at least can get off on ABM. I guess another headline would have been ABM treaty to coup Thailand, but it's ropey. There's still time to take Japan. One, two, three, 4, 5, 6, 7, and flip Lao Cambodia while shuttle diplomacy is in play. So ABM Libya if Mexico coup fails. ABM Libya, level up Middle East. Oh, he's just going to town on battlegrounds. Fine. Great. That's the way I'd want it. So yeah, take Japan, flip Lao Cambodia, dominate Asia. Hope Asia drops first. And now Salt's gone, they can't re-coup. Oh man, that's gross. Yep, that's fine. If they drop South America scoring here, inshallah. I think the highest leverage swing is still Libya. But we'll finish retaking Venezuela. And we'll take Guatemala as well. Artan is going to run into some serious clock trouble if he doesn't hit war games. What's in Artan's hand again? Has played Salt. Arsenal, Libthy, Colonial, Decol. So, can't space Colonial Rearguards. Might choose to event and repair with Decol, potentially. I can't play the China card because I need to hold it as the pressure outlet against Lone Gunman. So, Liberation Theology is yet to go off. It reminds me I actually need to overprotect Mexico. So I might use Duck and Cover to take Venezuela and put Mexico up to 4. Don't know what the other 3 cards are, but we're going to find out. If they decall and Desire in Angola, I'll need to remember to overprotect both to stop them being flipped with a 3-op card. So CMC's one of them. Fine, fine, fine. So, what do we think? We don't know what their other 3-op cards are, but we know they've got Decol and Colonial Rearguards, and this keeps them busy in Asia. So let's do that for now. If I can dupe them into Ask Not, I'll ditch those 4. I might keep Flower Power. Oh, not with the VP tracker the way it is. I should throw Flower Power. Okay, I'll take Domination rather than Control at this point. So in advance of Liberation Theology, and in recognition of Decol, I'll overprotect Lao. Next up is the coup of Libya. So yeah, drop 2 VP doing that. Let's see if those 2 VP are pivotal near game end. Okay. We're going to have to hope that the last card that they hold is not Missile Envy. Do a straight repair. Event the disgusting Flower Power. Can live with that. For now. Coup Libya. Big money. Not quite. Not quite big enough money. So Lib the Arsenal and Colonial Rearguards. So if you play Arsenal, I chuck these 3 cards. If you event Liberation Theology, I repair Mexico. If you play Colonial Rearguards, I cause a bit of difficulty in Africa. Great. Bye-bye, Lone Gunman. Could be worse. So we need to hope Asia scoring comes out first, basically. So if I get dealt 3 scoring cards, I lose here automatically. But that's a gamble I'm willing to take. No. Central America scoring drop for 0. To defend against Liberation Theology to event Bear Trap. No, Central America's scored. So you can drop DEFCON in the headline if you want, but then I can do other stuff. Muslim Rev. Lads. Puppet. Not a lot left to puppet into. Pop it into. EU is a good time to get that, because it does make a difference. Debt crisis. Almost entirely academic. Cambridge 5 is unplayable. Brezhnev AR 7. Ugh, that is a high leverage play. It misses. Lucky me. Colonial rearguards in the trap. Colonial rearguards gets chucked. So we coup Libya for arms race. Please be big. You are big. Thank you very much. Next up, we want to puppet government, so puppet Eastern European unrest, Europe. We may focus on non-battlegrounds. We will not discard Latin American debt crisis just yet. We'll see whether they spend 3 ops in Central America. Ah, they do. So now we will throw away Muslim Revolution. Rather than space it, since it's a 0 margin. I want to get 2 in the UK before special relationship drops. Puppet governments to flood Central America is an option. But no, first up is UK. Spacing NORAD, now's not a good time to be NORADing. Might bring the reformer in, does. That's not great for me. So we're going to do this now. Just hammer on some battlegrounds. And now take UK and Denmark. So we will puppet governments into Denmark and Hungary to try and start having a run at those. And a big games nuclear test fan, yeah. Bit tracking their cards, but not mine. Yeah. Oh boy, Artan's cutting it mighty fine. So I've still got a turn 10 tap of Asia for Dom. And control in South America, so yeah. As balanced if I can break the balance of power in Europe. Which isn't a done deal. I'm not going to be cocky. Right, we'll just pop another 2 in there. Because we've still got Brezhnev to use AR7 as well. And I kind of want to keep the pressure on. Let's just double check that I can't. Yeah, I can't influence domination. So we'll just start totting up there. So solidarity and special relationship both help in Europe. Terrorism helps because of grain sales now being unspaceable. We'll start with solidarity because it breaks Europe control, and then I can follow it up with special relationship. Yeah. And I've still got VOA in the bank. Glasnost is my 2VP ABM at some point, ideally. I know how I learned. So, Reformer, then Europe scoring. is the optimal way to assure. But I'll use special relationship to break France briefly. Alright, lady went, didn't it? Yep, just wasn't paying attention. No, none of those have been. Oh man, Artan is sailing close to the wind on time. Failing the reformer, obviously Aldrich Ames isn't a bad headline. We will bury you if they hold UN intervention. Brush war. Junta. So a few options. Socialist government is no longer playable thanks to her. That's alright too. UNI drops North Sea oil. Retake Poland. But I get the coup off. And UN intervention's been played. And I get there. Next up will be a Glasnost coup in Mexico, depending on whether Europe's scoring drops. Lots of influence. Okay, you're doing that. Let's terrorism him. No grain sales. Okay. Alright. So that may have achieved nothing, but just removed a card from his hand he doesn't like. But he now does at least have... He's going to miss AR7, so I can use special relationship AR6, and then take France. Okay, yep, fill up the battleground, Sunshine. I think you've got a bigger problem coming. Nevertheless, I'll event Glasnost and coup Mexico. Don't quite get there. Yeah, so using that is now going to hurt in Europe. I'll keep tapping for now. Still got VOA. I may hold VOA though. Cool. Keep tippy-tapping. Is your last card grain sales? If it's tear down this wall, you can space it. Oh, it's 5-year plan. Okay, so I achieved nothing. So, special relationship 2 into France. And then we'll use the China card to overload it. Do they have anything they can do to deny Asia scoring? No. Decal's gone, yeah? Yeah. So let's have a quick check. What have I got? Junta, Ortega. Tear down this wall. Tear down this wall is actually best. And brush. Ooh. Nice. What are the coup odds in France? 50-50. And drops DEFCON. Yeah. And I get there. Yeah, I think I've got there now. I've just got too much going on, and I've got the turn 10 AR7 Voice of America, just for good measure. And I've got brush war. Ooh, big money, no whammies. Whoa, success. So, Asia's 0. Middle East and Central America equals South America plus Europe and Africa. So I'm still ahead, but not by a lot. Go 50-50. Boom! There goes your ball game. That has pretty much put it from contention, I think. Chernobyl, that's a bummer. So Junta 2 into Guatemala, then realign on Mexico is the best line with Junta. And then turn 10 AR7, Voice of America. The jig is up. That does nothing. I mean, I suppose it denies. Right, big realigns here. Another one, please. Nope. That went the other way. Oh well. It's my game. But it went all the way down to the wire. One VP. One VP. One VP, one VP, one VP. Alright, thanks for watching. I know it's been a long one and a double header. I will upload it now. Comments welcome for both sides. Artan said they were very keen to hear what people had to say, so please do comment freely. And thanks for watching the epic feed at apparently 16 frames a second, so I don't know how much of it you've seen. But unless you guys want to kickstart for me to get a new laptop, thanks a lot.